Another challenge is understanding how rainfall patterns influence life on the desert. What effect does a prolonged drought have? Do some areas of the refuge consistently receive less rainfall? Is there less or more rain now than 20 years ago? Since the 1960s, volunteers have provided invaluable assistance monitoring the amount and distribution of rainfall by regularly checking and recording information from as many as 50 rain gauges set up around the refuge. At a few of the more remote areas, the information on water levels is now automatically relayed by radio to headquarters. When levels are low, the refuge hauls water to fill some of the basins located strategically throughout the refuge. Many scientists believe bringing water to these basins may be critical for many mammal, bird, and bat species on Cabeza. Other scientists, though, are concerned that increasing the availability of water in the desert helps support species not native to Cabeza, perhaps upsetting the natural balance. Research is underway to better understand what effect these water systems have on native species. Every few years, the refuge's bighorn sheep population is assessed by aerial surveys. The number of rams observed is used to determine bighorn sheep hunting quotas. Usually 5 to 7 sheep hunting permits are awarded each year by lottery. Aerial surveys are also used to monitor the refuge's Sonoran pronghorn antelope population, an endangered species. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, as the lead agency in the recovery of endangered species, is interested in learning how much area the pronghorn use and the kinds of habitat they prefer. A number of pronghorn have been radio collared and their weekly movements tracked. Scientists are also doing research on the refuge to learn more about bats, their longevity, their migration, population trends. As the bats swoop down for insects, they are harmlessly caught in a fine mesh net. Very small identification tags are then attached to the wing. When a bat is recaptured, valuable information about its life history is revealed. Wildlife has also been studied by remote camera and by observation from blinds. Cabeza is ideal as a laboratory for those studying arid regions. Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge, managed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, is one of more than 500 refuges that make up the National Wildlife Refuge System. The mission of this incredibly diverse network of lands and waters is to conserve fish, wildlife, and plant resources, and the habitats they depend on for the benefit of the American people. As the 100th anniversary approaches of when the first refuge was established by President Teddy Roosevelt in 1903, we should take a moment and reflect on what a wonderful gift we have given ourselves in preserving places such as Cabeza Prieta.
If we hold a globe of our planet in our hands and turn it slowly, we'll see what a special place the Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge truly is. There's no other place like it on the entire face of the earth. It is desert, Sonoran desert, pristine, wild, wonderful, grand, glorious. But you probably knew that, and that's the reason you're here. We have here an opportunity to take care of this desert so that it's as we saw it 100 years ago. This is a wilderness out here. Most of the Cabeza is set aside to be roadless, vehicleless, fenceless, and that preserves the habitat for the wildlife itself. That keeps them from being fragmented. Wilderness is much like Humpty Dumpty, and once broken, difficult, impossible to ever repair, to replace. We're constantly reminded out here how well nature does her job when we do not interfere. We also are able out here to study some of the great problems and questions of our environment. We're able to ask questions and take a look at what the answers might be in a truly pristine environment, one which has not been turned over, turned upside down by our own hands. This refuge is truly our refuge, yours, mine, and we can be very proud to have it, proud that we're taking such good care of it. Hundreds of generations of people have passed through this area. They have known it as it is, loved it for itself, and left it in a natural way. Now it's our turn to take care of it.
Taking care means be careful and be responsible. As rugged as the desert may appear, it is very fragile and easily scarred. Scars which can remain a century or more. The restrictions that the refuge imposes and the advice it offers are to protect both you and the refuge. The wilderness that is Cabeza Prieta can be very dangerous, even life-threatening for the unprepared. Help can be far away if you get in trouble. So please take time to study the safety brochures and talk with refuge staff before you go out. And remember the wilderness ethic. Leave no trace of your visit.